At 12:41 AAT 2014, a plane carrying 239 souls lifted from Kuala Lumpur's bustling runway. It was routine, a flight bound for Beijing, but what followed would unravel into one of the greatest mysteries of modern aviation. The sky held its breath as Flight MH370 climbed steadily into the night, leaving behind a city of fading lights and unspoken promises. Suddenly, at 1:19 a.m., the voice of the pilot blinking into radio static whispered one last time before silence swallowed the plane whole. No distress calls, no alarms. Just a vanishing act suspended in time and space? Was it a technical failure? Human error? Or something far darker lurking beneath the calm horizon? The questions hung heavy in the air, unanswered, as radar screens turned blank. What was witnessed was the final dance of a plane against the ethereal canvas of the night sky, its disappearance marked not just on radar, but in the hearts of those left behind. As families awaited answers that would never come, the world grappled with disbelief. The hum of airplanes and life as normal rhythm ruptured by a silent scream echoing through the void. Why did the plane vanish so completely, leaving behind only fragments of hope? The story was far from over, but the silence it birthed felt like the opening stanza of an anguished lament, one that would reach across the oceans and through the minds of millions, whispering of loss, mystery, and the fragile fragility of life itself. The search swept from the skies to the sea, tracing shadows cast on vast, restless waters. The Indian Ocean, deep and enigmatic, became the reluctant stage for this unfolding tragedy. Somewhere beneath its endless waves lay the remnants of that desperate night, invisible to the eyes of trackers and satellites. The ocean itself seemed to shroud the truth, holding tightly to secrets whispered only to the currents and the abyss. Satellites traced faint pings, echoes of a ghost, lost to the dark. Was this the plane's final heartbeat, or merely a cruel trick of technology? Scientists, investigators, and families waited in the liminal space between hope and despair, where every glimmer sparked brief aspiration, every silence deepened the ache. The sun scorched the endless blue by day, and the stars watched coldly from their distant thrones above, indifferent to human grief. The debris washed ashore far from the plane's last known position, fragments that carried silent stories in their tattered edges. How did the ocean decide where to release these remnants? In the vast theater of nature's indifferent design, the plane was but a whisper wrenched into the roaring sea. Here, the line between despair and determination dissolved, and the ocean's shadows mirrored the haunting uncertainty rippling across the globe. This chapter of the mystery clings to the wave's edge, poised between revelation and the abyss, compelling us to ask, what secrets does the ocean protect so fiercely, and what will it demand in return for their release? As days turned to weeks, an unyielding hunt unfurled beneath clouds heavy with human expectation. Ships traversed the endless black water, sonar pulses carving invisible trails through the deep. The ocean's vastness was a labyrinth where each sound carried a fragile promise, each shadow sparked a fleeting hope. What would the darkness reveal? Wreckage? Answers? Or more ghosts of uncertainty? In the quiet heart of the hunt, teams faced exhaustion, their eyes scanning endless horizons, their minds chasing elusive clues. The underwater silence was deafening, thick with the weight of countless unanswered questions. Every ping from the sonar was both a beacon and a tremor, setting pulses racing, only to fade into oblivion. The search was a marathon of resilience and despair, where technology and human will collided with the relentless vastness of nature. Maps filled with grids became strange canvases of hope and heartbreak. Every corner explored was a step into the unknown, a confrontation with the ocean's cold indifference. Yet, in that darkness, there was a quiet determination, a refusal to let memory sink into oblivion. The hunt was not just for wreckage, but for closure, for the fragile light flickering at the edge of loss. As the days stretched onward, hope shifted shape, but did not break, caught in the endless dance between the known and the unknowable, a dance choreographed by fate, grief, and the deep, unyielding darkness. Through the shadow of years, fragments of MH370's story surfaced like ghostly echoes. Each found piece, a wing fragment, a piece of fuselage, carried with it the weight of countless prayers and relentless questions. They were beacons thrown into a sea of uncertainty, glimmers of truth in a fog thick with speculation. The world held its breath as investigations unveiled maps of possibility and corridors of silence. Was it mechanical failure, pilot intervention, or something sinister veiled beneath layers of secrecy? The debates grew into storms of doubt and hope, pulling at hearts divided by disbelief and faith. Families' faces became mirrors of the global anguish, eyes searching not just for wreckage, but for fragments of closure. In every theory whispered in the shadows, there was a pulse of human vulnerability, our desperate need to understand, to find meaning in chaos. The silence of the lost plane became a hollow echo that reverberated in every unanswered question and every shattered expectation. Could the truth ever be fully grasped, or was the mystery destined to become a ghost story, a legend etched into the skies? Amidst this sea of uncertainty, the fragile hope that maybe one day light would pierce the darkness remained, a beacon shining toward an answer still, just beyond reach, pulling us deeper into the emotional labyrinth of loss and longing. Years have passed, but the silence remains. The story of Flight MH370 has become a canvas of unanswered questions, a poignant reminder of human fragility against the vastness of the unknown. Where did the plane truly disappear? Why did it stray so far from its path? And most hauntingly, what fate befell those aboard? Every map drawn, every search line drawn in the sand, felt like a tentative brushstroke against a backdrop of shadow. The unknown stretched endlessly, a silent void where hope and despair collided. Families live with the unbearable weight of not knowing, their lives forever suspended in a liminal space between presence and absence.